What's up? मेरी आवाज साफ आ रही है? A lot of you. Oh, now it's live. Hi. आवाज साफ आ रही है? Are you able to hear me? You'll be able to see me soon. Don't worry. But here we are with electrochemistry. Yeah, हम लोग बात करने वाले हैं electrode potential के बारे में आज के सेशन में. We'll talk a little bit about gives free energy, also all of that. Just some basics of electrochem is what I'm thinking about today. So yeah, a lot of you suggested that we do this. I got a lot of suggestions, right? Electrochemistry, redox, or kya atomic structure. So we'll do a mix and match of everything. I thought कि redox is needed to do electrochemistry, right? You pretty much need it, like that's the basics. So वो तो आप रिवाइज कर ही लोगे ये करने के लिए. और रही बात atomic structure की, वो हम लोग करेंगे वीकेंड में. So yeah, I'm Ashish. I'm doing physical chemistry sessions for you guys on the JEE channel now. On weekends usually, and पहली बार weekday में. How you doing? How you doing today? आवाज साफ आ रही है? You able to see me, hear me and all of that? Hey, what's up, Akansha? Rick, how you doing? Yeah. So shall we get started? आवाज साफ आ रही है, I suppose, right? Just some basics. Hey, Hanuman ji. अरे बाप रे, Hanuman ji. Amit Roy. Beautiful. Okay. All right. A lot of new people. Sweet. New in the sense new to me. I'm sure you're old to the channel. You've been around for a long time. मैं since weekend में क्लास ले रहा हूँ, पहली बार वीकडे में ले रहा हूँ, तो I'm sure I'll see your faces here. Dark Ferrari, what's up? Salam alaikum. Walaikum assalam. That's the right response, isn't it? All right. So, what's electrochemistry? You know this. Interconversion between chemical and electrical energy. I'll go over some basics and they'll go deep into some parts that the JEE test. If you have checked out the PYQs, अगर नहीं किया तो please कर लो. NCERT की direct lines आ जाती हैं, या फिर कुछ conceptual चीजें ऐसी आ जाती हैं that you will be able to answer only if you have gone through things in detail. Now, मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि सवाल मुश्किल आ रहे हैं. आजकल सवाल मुश्किल कम आ रहे हैं, but you have to go into details to figure things out, and that's what I'm here to help you with. Oh, mic check करा था, पहना तो हाँ पहना. All right, perfect audio video, cool, sweet. Okay, all right. So electrochemistry, convert electrical energy, etc. ठीक है. Galvanic cell, electrochemical cell दो टाइप के होते हैं. नहीं, ये क्या? Electrolytic cell. हाँ, electrolytic मतलब electricity ली तोड़ा. Galvanic मतलब अपने आप electricity बन रही है chemical reaction से. You know all of these things. अगर कोई doubt हो तो पूछ लेना. Okay, I'm going to go quickly over some parts that are really basic because I know, like either if you're in 12th grade, you're probably already geared up for, JEE. If you're in 11th grade, then this may be a little bit hard for you. But if you've done redox, then आराम से you can do electrochemistry. The prerequisites for this, by the way, अरे रुकिए, कहाँ गए हम? Where is the pen, bro? The prerequisites are a little bit of thermo, actually a lot of thermo, a little bit of gaseous state, a lot of gaseous state, a little bit of equilibrium, a lot of equilibrium. इसलिए ये चैप्टर मुश्किल माना जाता है क्योंकि इतने ढेर सारे प्रीरेक्विजिट्स है, राइट? आयनिक इक्विलिब्रियम, और क्या क्या है, और क्या बचा? यू गॉट मोल कॉन्सेप्ट, और क्या है? कुछ भूल गया मैं? डिड आई फॉरगेट एनीथिंग? लिटिल बिट ऑफ पी ब्लॉक आल्सो, जस्ट अ लिटिल बिट. ठीक है, डीएनएफ ब्लॉक आल्सो, डीएनएफ ब्लॉक टू एन एक्सटेंट. ठीक है, खैर गैसियस सिलेबस के बाहर है तो क्या हुआ? यू नीड गैसियस स्टेट टू डू दिस. सिलेबस में हटा दे तो क्या हुआ? टू डू दिस यू नीड गैसियस स्टेट. क्या करें, है ना? सुपर्ब. ओके, ग्रेट. ठीक है. Galvanic cell क्या होती है? To you, some things that are things you know, but if I'm slowing down on some point, then please pay attention. This is one point I'm slowing down on. Okay, gives free energy change. If that is negative, matlab the reaction is spontaneous, and in that case, E naught cell is greater than 0. What is E naught cell? We'll get to that quickly. This is अपने आप electricity being produced by chemical reactions happening. Okay. So, a galvanic cell is an electrochemical cell that produces electricity as a result of spontaneous reactions occurring inside it. Okay, so delta G of that reaction is less than 0. All right, sweet. So, chemical energy gets converted to electrical energy. Here is an example. What is the flow of electrons and all of that? ठीक है, there is nothing, there is no battery, कुछ नहीं है. There is something interesting here. This is called a salt bridge. We'll look at that towards the end of this session maybe, or the next session में हम लोग डिटेल में इसको देखेंगे. What is the salt bridge and all of that? खैर, this is what it is, right? Electrons are flowing, etc. कुछ हो रहा है. ठीक है. तो as always, this is important. Again, something I'm slowing down for. External circuit में electrons flow, okay, and पानी के अंदर solution, it's always mostly water, right? There, it's ions flowing that constitute electricity. पानी के अंदर electrons नहीं होते. This has been tested in JEE and in NEET. Please be very clear about this. If there are electrons in water, they'll just get absorbed because they're too tiny. They move very quickly, but they cannot go through water. Okay, electrons, they're not going to go through water. Ions, great. Ions क्यों move करेंगे? Because there will be some sort of reason to make them move. We'll talk about the reason soon. That reason in electrolytic cells is an external source like a battery. मतलब रिएक्शन होना नहीं चाहता है, रिएक्शन डज नॉट वांट टू हैपन. ओके, सो हियर द गिब्स फ्री एनर्जी चेंज इज पॉजिटिव. मतलब नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस रिएक्शन है that you are making spontaneous by passing current through it. Okay, how are you passing current? Through a battery. What is a battery? A battery is something that has a difference in potential between two of its, what do you call them, electrodes? Can I call them electrodes? Are you familiar with what electrodes are? Okay, here electrical energy is converted into chemical energy, and यहाँ पे भी सेम चीज है, इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आर फ्लोइंग इन द आउटर सर्किट, अंदर आयॉन्स फ्लो करेंगे. विल गो इनटू डिटेल इन दिस, डोंट वरी. राइट नाउ आई एम जस्ट गिविंग यू ऊपर ऊपर से आइडिया. व्हेन इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आर फ्लोइंग, वो कहां जा रहे हैं? आर दे डिसअपियरिंग? नो. If electrons go this way, in this direction, right, and they come here, they are reacting with something. Some A plus is accepting electrons. Okay, that's how it has a tendency to pull electrons. Do you understand this? Thoda basics hai. Okay, do you understand this? Electrodynamics, physics, a little bit. Yes, Darkus, absolutely right. Absolutely right. 100% Darkus. You're bang on target. I like it. I like that you're paying attention to all of this. Okay. So, if there is a pull of electrons, मतलब ठीक है, battery is pushing it, but something should also want to accept it. What is that something? पानी में, in the solution, there is something that is accepting electrons. And on the other side, something is like, यार ले लो, नहीं चाहिए मुझे electrons, pushing electrons out. So here electrons are being pushed out. Okay, and here they are being pulled in. It's as simple as that. Okay, if electrons are being pulled in, here they are being pushed out, मतलब something is furnishing electrons. Okay, so maybe B is giving you B plus electrons on this side. तो अगर electrons accept हो रहे हैं, electrons जा रहे हैं, what comes to mind? Redox reactions, another prerequisite. The most important prerequisite is redox reactions. Okay, और दोनों जगह या दो अलग अलग जगह है ना, we have separated it. It's possible for all this to happen in one place, but हमने बिल्कुल अलग कर दिया है इस दो reactions को. वो अलग अलग हो रहे हैं, they're called half cell. We talk about that in some detail. But in both electrolytic and galvanic cells, galvanic क्या था? Chemical to electrical. Electrolytic क्या है? Electrolytic. Electrolysis because of electrons, because of electricity, things breaking apart, chemicals breaking apart, right? So electrical energy to chemical energy. So अब इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? What does all this mean? देखो, अगर कोई reaction spontaneous नहीं है, so I make it spontaneous by putting a battery there. If a reaction is spontaneous, I let it happen. And by letting a reaction happen, by letting a redox reaction happen, think about this, unlimited energy, right? Redox reaction ho raha hai, and you are able to get electricity out of it. It is a little bit more complicated than that. On the chemistry front, it is as simple as that. But असलियत में कुछ और चीजें आ जाती है. Some more things. That is what we are going to study. कि असलियत में, in reality, what are the things that, you know, affect you or you don't. और किस में भाषा में बात करें? केम वाला जी, केम वाला, that's interesting. आपको क्या चाहिए? मैं कन्नड़ा में बात करूं? I'm from Bangalore. I can do that if you want. Yeah. So the idea of redox reactions is central to electrolysis. Okay, so central to electrochemical reactions. So redox reaction का main idea है कि दो अलग अलग अगर हम लोग स्टडी करें, reduction part, we have the luxury to do this right now. Luxury to learn reduction and oxidation अलग अलग से, ठीक है? And that's beautiful, right? And they are conceptual ideas. एक जगह हो रहा है gain, एक तरह loss. अच्छा, quickly tell me in the chat, what is gain, what is loss? Which one is oxidation, which one is reduction? Oxidation, loss. Which one is reduction, which one is oxidation? Tell me quickly. यार time pass मत करो. I know you guys are saying something. Focus on chemistry. पढ़ने आओ ना, पढ़ के जाओ, ठीक है? What is oxidation? What is reduction? Simple question. Gain और loss में से कौन सा oxidation है, कौन सा reduction है? बताइए. Loan कुछ बोल रहे हो. All right. So loss is oxidation. Okay, loss is oxidation. Loan. ठीक है. Loan is a nice way to mark this. Pranam Harshit ji. Pranam. Akshada, absolutely right. Oxidation, reduction, etc. Loan. You know what I like? It's all the same. One and the same. I like red cat and anox. What is this? What is this about? Yeah, loan कर लेंगे. ठीक है. Loan मत लो life में यार. जय हिंद. All of that, sure. So anyway, loan आपको ठीक है. You mug it that way. Great. You're good. बढ़िया है. Excellent. So that prerequisite is done. So दोनों को अगर हम लोग साथ में ले आए, yeah. So we are studying them separately, but somehow if we bring them together, we can furnish electricity from this. Okay. और electricity हम लोग कर सकते हैं और amazing चीजें. उसको chemicals को तोड़ सकते हैं. So as all of you have said, absolutely right. Reduction is this chap right here, accepting electrons. Okay, that's reduction. Okay, and furnishing electrons, this is oxidation. ठीक है, एक और तरीका देखना, it's losing electrons or it's furnishing electrons. यार बस अंग्रेजी से फर्क है, बिकॉज यार देखो, यू मे से कि यार हिंदी में बात करो, आई कैन टॉक हिंदी, नो प्रॉब्लम, बट अनलेस यू आर गिविंग द पेपर हिंदी मीडियम में, अंग्रेजी लिखी होगी पेपर में, तो गेट यूज्ड टू दैट अमाउंट ऑफ इंग्लिश. ओके, सो इफ द वर्ड फर्निशिंग इलेक्ट्रॉन इज रिटन, दैट मींस ऑक्सीडेशन हो रहा है. ठीक है, कूल. आई एम ट्राइंग टू हेल्प यू, यार दैट्स माय मोटिव ओवर हियर. आई होप यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस. फर्निशिंग इलेक्ट्रॉन मतलब ऑक्सीडेशन. ठीक है, ऑलराइट, लेट्स मूव ऑन. दीज बेसिक्स, these are what is going to make a difference in JEE. ठीक है, बाकी तो एवरीबडी, यू हैव ऑल द रिसोर्सेज इन लाइफ. एनसीईआरटी है, 10 चीजें आप लोग कर लोगे, बहुत मेधावी स्टूडेंट्स हैं आप लोग, यू विल फिगर एवरीथिंग आउट, बट गॉड लाइज इन द डिटेल्स. ध्यान रखो. ठीक है, सो इलेक्ट्रोकेमिकल सेल, दो इलेक्ट्रोड्स होते हैं बोला जा रहा है, मतलब कि दो, अगर मैंने अलग अलग कर लिए इलेक्ट्रोड, मतलब कि व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू डू इज आई एम ट्राइंग टू डू रिडक्शन एंड ऑक्सीडेशन इन सेपरेट चेंबर्स. ठीक है, उसको करने के लिए हम लेते हैं कंडक्टर. कंडक्टर क्या बला है? कंडक्टर इज समथिंग दैट लेट्स इलेक्ट्रॉन्स पास थ्रू इट. क्यों? क्योंकि बोथ केसेस, वेदर इट इज इलेक्ट्रोलाइटिक सेल और गैल्वेनिक सेल, इलेक्ट्रॉन्स तो फ्लो हो रहे हैं बाहर, उन इलेक्ट्रॉन्स को मुझे लेके आना है टू द सॉल्यूशन. हाउ डू आई डू दैट? थ्रू अ कंडक्टर. नाउ दिस कंडक्टर इटसेल्फ कैन टेक पार्ट इन द रिएक्शन, और इट कैन बी जस्ट अ कंडक्टर, व्हिच मींस कि इलेक्ट्रॉन ले जाएगा, इट विल नॉट टेक पार्ट. दो टाइप के. ठीक है, दो टाइप के. सो and this solution that I was talking about, पानी वाला solution, that is called an electrolyte. Electrolyte आपको मालूम है क्या है? Any doubts? Any doubts so far? Nothing. ना, मतलब ये तो बहुत basic चीजें हैं. I'm taking 10-15 minutes to just understand कैसे, what is the level of understanding of you guys. कुछ अगर धीरे लग रहा है, fast लग रहा है, tell me, I'll change my speed accordingly. ठीक है? All right. Cool. So I'm going to call them confidently now half cell, because it looks like you guys are catching up, right? There's no doubt whatsoever so far. इसको हम लोग बुलाते हैं हाफ सेल. कौन सा हाफ सेल? मैंने लिया एक कंडक्टर, उसको डाला पानी में, पानी के अंदर है कुछ सॉल्ट्स which are electrolytes, and that setup is what I'm calling a half cell. Okay, as simple as that. And both of those half cells are now connected by a wire in the case of a galvanic cell, connected to a battery in case of an electrolytic cell. बस मेरी बात सुनो, कुछ लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. ठीक है, so here is the example of a half cell. You have got zinc rod, okay, metal zinc in ZnS4 solution. ठीक है, now whether ये electrolyte में डालो, whether oxidation happens, reduction happens, how will you figure it out? How will you figure this out? Yeah, perfect है. Okay, good, great. ठीक है, हमने डाल दिया जिंक को ZnS4. अब क्या करें? Do I connect it with some metal? What do I connect it with? That is the question we are trying to answer right now. ठीक है, so it will have a tendency to go into solution. Go into solution मतलब डिसॉल्व तो नहीं होगा. जिंक मेटल डालोगे पानी में थोड़ा डिसॉल्व होगा, बट जिंक जब ZnSO में डालोगे, it'll have a tendency to form Zn2+ ions. That's weird, no? So it's not dissolving. Yeah, it's very, very different. ऐसा नहीं कि मैंने मेटल को पानी में डाला और वो डिसॉल्व हो जाए. That's not what's happening. When I'm putting metal in, not in water, I'm putting water and some salt. उसी का salt, ZnSO4. Then there's a tendency for more Zn2+ to form. That tendency is what we are talking about. ठीक है? That tendency, if that tendency exists, oxidation बोलते हैं. ठीक है, मतलब देखो, आयन भाई साहब निकल रहे हैं. अच्छा सा लैटिस है. अरे सॉलिड स्टेट भी हटा दे यार, लैटिस नहीं बोल सकता क्या मैं? लैटिस समझते हो ना सब लोग, you're all awesome students. लैटिस से थोड़ा निकल गया बाहर. ठीक है, also there is a small difference created at that junction itself. We'll talk about this in the next session. It's called the liquid junction potential, LJP in short. Maybe you already know about this. We'll discuss this on Thursday. ठीक है, डिटेल में liquid junction potential के बारे में. Between the metal electrode मतलब क्या था? वो metal and the ion, उसके बीच में एक sort of tension create हो जाती है. Literally, like there's a tension there. ये जाना चाहता है, जाना नहीं दे रहा है. So it's ready to go into solution. Just needs a little push. It just needs a little push. That is what this potential difference is. ठीक है, this अगर उसका टेंडेंसी है टू गेट ऑक्सीडाइज इज कॉल्ड ऑक्सीडेशन पोटेंशियल, एंड आई विल राइट इट लाइक दिस, E Zn, नीचे सबस्क्रिप्ट में, सबस्क्रिप्ट मतलब नीचे Zn to Zn2+. ओके, अगर ये टेंडेंसी ज्यादा है तो इसकी न्यूमेरिकल वैल्यू बढ़ जाएगी, मोर एंड मोर पॉजिटिव. ठीक है, व्हाट डज दैट मीन? विल टॉक अबाउट इट. जस्ट 5 मिनट बाद बताते हैं हाउ दिस इज रिलेटेड टू थर्मोडायनामिक्स, व्हाट यू ऑलरेडी स्टडी. ठीक है, डोंट वरी, वो करेंगे. ठीक है, कुछ मेटल्स हैं ऑन द अदर साइड, नाउ दैट्स ऑक्सीडेशन. सेम चीज रिडक्शन में हो जाती है. रिडक्शन में कुछ मेटल्स हैं जो चाहते हैं यार कि नहीं भाई, हम हैं मेटल, हम रहेंगे मेटल, like gold, right? Noble and all. So some of these ions from the solution, again, remember, you have the metal, पानी है, पानी में salt है of that same metal. So something like gold है तो AuCl3 maybe, कुछ some salt that has that ion and some counter ion, ठीक है, वो है, और उसका टेंडेंसी है रिड्यूस होने में. I'm going to go quickly over here. So कॉपर डाल दिया. अब इसमें है कि देखो ये एरो अंदर की तरफ आ रही है, मतलब दिस लाइक बॉस, I don't want to be in solution, I want to get on to this. So what happens here? इसको हो रहा है यहाँ पे रिडक्शन. रिडक्शन कैसे हो रहा है? Because CO2 plus has a tendency to become copper and accept. How does it do that? By accepting electrons. Okay. So this process is reduction, and again there's a potential difference over there between the ions. There's a tension. Let's just call it tension in layman's terms, right? And ये है पूरा reduction reaction and reduction potential. उसको हम लोग लिखते हैं ऐसे. You're familiar with all of these, and for most of our practical purposes we will look at this. But here I'm slowing down. Huge disclaimer. जेई में ऑक्सीडेशन पोटेंशियल पे भी सवाल पूछे गए हैं, ठीक है, तो इसीलिए हम लोग इसको डिटेल में बता रहे हैं. मे बी एनसीईआरटी में है नहीं है, डजंट मैटर, बट जेई टेस्ट दिस, इट टेस्ट द बेसिक्स. वी ऑल गुड? या जस्ट चेकिंग इन द चैट. अरे मेरा वीडियो बहुत ब्लरी हो जाता बीच में बिकॉज़ आई हैव दिस ऑटो फोकस वाला कैमरा, ठीक है, एंड या होल्ड ऑन, लेट मी फिक्स दैट. ओके, इट शुड बी गुड नाउ. इफ आई गो blurry or something, let me know, I'll fix it right away. Yeah, that happens, right? That's random. कभी कभी because I keep moving a lot, it happens. It's an autofocus camera. So अगर कभी हो जाए तो बता दो, I'll fix it. ठीक है, quickly. Anyway, so अगर reduction potential है ज्यादा तो tendency reduce होगी ज्यादा, just like oxidation potential. मैंने लिखा, ये जो मैं लिख रहा हूँ ना, there's a method to this madness. ये देखो, ये जो है ना, पहले मैंने लिखा था E, ये तो मेरे पीछे चला गया, पहले लिखा था मैंने E, Zn2 plus, मतलब this is showing that oxidation is happening. और यहां मैंने लिखा है क्या, बड़ा बड़ा लिख देता हूं, E CO2 plus to Cu, मतलब it's clearly showing कि this is reduction. Okay, so pay attention to the details. Electrochemistry is all about the details. ध्यान से देखो, ठीक है. Anyway, the potential difference developed between these metal electrodes and at 1 molar concentration, 1 bar pressure को हम लोग E0 बोलते हैं. Standard in the whole of thermodynamics, standard conditions क्या थी? 1 bar pressure, 1 molar concentration, है ना? Yeah. All right. Aye. My God, guys, you guys are funny. I know you're messing with me, but yeah, we're not finishing the chapter tomorrow. Maybe give me a little bit of heads up. I've got your back, but let me know if you plan to do this. Yeah, अगर एक दिन में कुछ खत्म करना है तो. My plan is to finish this in about 6 sessions. Usually, electrochemistry takes 14-15 sessions, right? हम लोग 6 session में करेंगे, but we'll do it properly. We'll do it so properly कि तुम लोग JEE Advanced में कोई भी सवाल कर पाओ. That's my goal. And by the end of that 4th or 5th or 6th session, we'll do like a crazy weekend वाला session. That's my plan for electrochemistry with you. ठीक है? मतलब basically November end से पहले we'll finish this. And why am I doing this? Because electrochemistry takes everything together. ठीक है? और सबसे मुश्किल सवाल JEE Advanced के और JEE Main के इसी के होते हैं. बाकी तो हम लोग parallelly करते ही जाएंगे. Parallelly we'll keep doing this. ठीक है? I know तो time pass कर रहा था, but it's okay. You're not being disrespectful, so I'll allow the time pass. एक लिमिट के अंदर. This is very close to that limit where I'm allowing it. ठीक है? All right. Anyway, standard electrode potential, right? Standard condition मतलब 1 molar 1 bar. ठीक है? जिंक का लिखोगे स्टैंडर्ड रिडक्शन पोटेंशियल बिकॉज इफ इट्स गेटिंग रिड्यूस्ड. अगर तुम उसको बदल लोगे, इफ यू रिवर्स द रिएक्शन, लुक एट दिस, ऑल आई एम डूइंग इज आई एम रिवर्सिंग द रिएक्शन, देन इट बिकम्स स्टैंडर्ड ऑक्सीडेशन पोटेंशियल. ठीक है? और ये सेम आइडियाज हेस लॉ के यहां अप्लाई होते हैं. oops, I gave you a teaser as to what's coming next. हेस लॉ कहां से आया? थर्मोडायनेमिक्स से. बता दो. Once we do delta G, I'll talk about that. खैर, anyway, here we are to red cat and anox. Okay. Red cat, reduction happens at cathode. Anox, oxidation happens at anode. So historically speaking, anode was जहां पे anion आते हैं. ये पढ़ रहे हैं आप from 8th or 9th grade. This is from electrolytic cells. But वो definition, let us throw it away. अभी के लिए फेंक देते हैं. 9th grade में बहुत प्यारी definition थी. Anions आ रहे हैं तो anode, cations आ रहे हैं तो cathode. उसको भूल जाओ अभी. What's important is reduction cathode, oxidation anode. Always, irrespective of what kind of cell, हमेशा यही होता है. ठीक है? And cell potential, now this is the big one, right? This is the part from physics that you need to understand. You need to understand this is a theoretical idea. This is a driving force. The tension I was talking about, this is a driving force that pushes the electrons away from the anode and pulls them towards the cathode. Okay? This is called the cell potential or the cell voltage. But the interesting thing is that the EMF or voltage, right, इलेक्ट्रोमोटिव फोर्स या फिर वोल्टेज, दिस इज व्हेन देयर इज नो करंट दैट्स पासिंग थ्रू. हाँ, लेट्स फिनिश द चैप्टर. चलो, अच्छी बात है. दैट्स मोर इंपॉर्टेंट ना. जेई कर लो फिर. Have fun in college, bro. See, electromotive force or voltage is when no current is passed. What does this mean? Can anybody in the chat tell me इसका क्या मतलब है? I don't have any toffees to give away, right? If I'm teaching in real class, I like throw toffees at people to get good answers, or even to give people to give interesting answers. You know, there's a TV show called QI, Quite Interesting, where you get points for being interesting. That's also great. But be participative, yeah? It'll be good. I don't like talking by myself. तुम लोग भी बात करते रहो, please. Please keep chatting. You know, whatever it is you want to talk about, let's keep the chat going. What does this mean? EMF or voltage when no current is passing through. Hey Piyush, what's up? See, as soon as there's a path, current will flow. It really wants current to flow. Us taraf hai na, sorry. Like I took a session on the other side just for this. There is a want for electrons to flow. जैसे ही उसको path मिलेगा, it will flow. That is what EMF greater than 0 means in layman's terms. ठीक है? This is potential, electric potential per unit charge. ये फिजिक्स से याद आ रहा है या नहीं आ रहा है? Does it make sense? What is the definition of voltage? है ना? E by Q. Is that correct? Is it not correct? Am I being random? बताइए भाई, please. How is voltage defined in physics? It's the same thing. Physics, chemistry are not different. Okay, please. That's the first thing I want you to take away from this. Physics, chemistry, सब same ही है. It's all science. ठीक है? How is potential defined as in physics? In terms of charge. बताइए. दोस्तों, थोड़ा तो इनपुट दीजिए. या? खैर. I hope आपकी physics is good or you will manage. ठीक है? अगर इसमें डाउट है तो बताओ. अगर डाउट नहीं है तो ठीक है. I will move on. I guess that this is something that you're comfortable with. ठीक है? It's basically the potential energy. E मैंने energy लिख दिया. I know E stands for electric field in physics. My bad. I'm not a physics teacher. I meant potential energy per unit charge. ठीक है? V is KQ by R. ठीक है? I'll take that. V is KQ by R or is it KQ square by R? अच्छा, KQ square by R is force. KQ square by R is energy. V is KQ by R. Correct. Thank you so much. I like that. I like the definition. KQ by R. Some charge, मतलब charge पे dependent है, right? And energy is what KQ square by R, right? Not E. Let's just write energy because E is also electric potential, right? In physics. Okay. Anyway, so let's now talk about chemistry. The most important bit of this session to start off with. The relationship between delta G and E cell. Why does a reaction happen? And the why वाला part, what do you need to know? थोड़ा सा definition चाहिए यहाँ पे, ठीक है? Pay attention to this derivation. It's a very short derivation. भाई देखो, the difference between JEE main and JEE advanced, and I'm saying JEE advanced because I'm preparing you for both. Whatever you take away from this is your positive. मेरा goal is to get you to advanced. If you want to go to main, I'm here to help you with that also, right? But the theory is the same. Now this part, the difference is थोड़ा सा maths ज़्यादा होता है advanced में, JEE main में math थोड़ा कम होता है, ठीक है? What's the math that I'm talking about? You've got 3 equations, right? एक H का basic definition है, which I've differentiated. Nothing fancy. Okay, मैंने बस differentiate किया है. Chain rule or whatever ना. PV को differentiate करो, PdV plus VdP. Similarly, G is H minus TS, उसको मैंने differentiate कर दिया. Same chain rule I've used. Chain rule ही बोलते हैं ना, क्या बोलते हैं? Maths I'm not good at. कर लेता हूँ, but वो सब theory याद नहीं है. You tell me if I'm saying anything random. Lastly, I've written energy, right? Internal energy. I've written this a little bit differently than what you know. You know internal energy to be Q plus W. वो W को I have written in 2 things. Expansion work and non-expansion work. ठीक है? ये डेरिवेशन जरूरी है. जरूरी क्यों है? समझने के लिए कि ये सब भला आई कहां से. How are we limiting this? How are we doing this? Maybe NCERT में नहीं है. क्या फर्क है? NCERT यार चलता है. थोड़ा एक्स्ट्रा कर लेंगे. चेन रूल बोलते हैं. चलो अच्छी बात है. नॉन एक्सपेंशन वर्क को मैंने यहां पे किया है इंक्लूड. क्यों? क्योंकि भाई थर्मोडायनेमिक्स में था एक्सपेंशन वर्क. यहां पे क्या एक्सपैंड कर रहा है? हियर वी आर कन्वर्टिंग इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी टू केमिकल एनर्जी एंड वाइस वर्सा. तो नॉन एक्सपेंशन वर्क इज दैट वर्क. नो डाउट सो फार, राइट? सिंपल सा किया है. नाउ आई विल जस्ट पुट यहां पे इसको आई विल सब्स्टिट्यूट हियर एंड क्या करेंगे? इसको वी विल सब्स्टिट्यूट हियर. ठीक है? Once we do that, you will get this expression. कुछ फैंसी नहीं किया मैंने, इसलिए मैंने अच्छे अच्छे कलर भी डाल दिए, इतना कलरफुल किया है ताकि देखने में भी आसानी हो. ये यहां से है, यहां से कलर से समझ आ रहा. Again, I have put non-expansion work. Now see what happens. Math is beautiful. Math is absolutely beautiful. ये हो गया cancel. कुछ और हो cancel? नहीं, अभी तक और कुछ cancel नहीं हुआ. So now dg is simply this function. You have seen this a lot. Maybe अगर आपने थोड़ा बहुत खुद खुराफात की है, then maybe you have heard of this. By the way, आप बोले थे हिंदी में बात करने को ना, हिंदी ठीक है ना? No tension, right? I don't mind speaking anything. English, हिंदी कुछ भी बोलेंगे. खैर, you may have seen this equation, but ये सब कहाँ गया? How does this go away? You see that the definition of entropy is this. So both of these get cancelled out. ठीक है? So what you're left with in the end is this expression. Okay, that dg is vdp minus sdt plus non-expansion work. ठीक है? यही है यहाँ का टेक अवे. Starting point. This is the thermodynamics you need to know. Any doubt? कुछ नहीं था यार. Just maths. Just simple math. All right, good. ये करके we get to that expression there. Now I say कि boss, pressure और temperature constant. Life becomes easy, and then you get कि देखो 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 क्या हो रहा है. Non-expansion work maximum is by delta G, given by delta G. There you go. This is the starting point of electrochemistry. ठीक है? Maximum amount of useful work. इसका क्या मतलब है? बहुत बार गिब्स फ्री एनर्जी बताते रहते हैं आपको. यूजफुल वर्क, यूजफुल वर्क. व्हाट डज दैट मीन? दिस इज व्हाट दैट मीन्स. ठीक है? यूजफुल नॉन एक्सपेंशन वर्क निकालने के लिए डेल्टा जी इज व्हाट इज गिवन टू यू. खैर, अब ये थोड़ा सा हमने मैथमेटिकल जगलरी कर ली. लेट्स गेट बैक टू द पॉइंट. राइट, द मैक्सिमम वर्क दैट कैन बी डिराइव्ड. इसीलिए बाय द वे, फ्यूल सेल्स आर लॉट मोर एफिशिएंट देन योर कार्नोट साइकिल. कार्नोट साइकिल एफिशिएंसी क्या होती है? 25-30%, एक्चुअली 40%, बट रियल लाइफ में जो 25. बट फ्यूल सेल की एफिशिएंसी होती है 90%. We'll do that towards the end of the session. Last वाले सेशन में करेंगे. क्या हुआ? कौन डर रहा है? I see somebody spamming on the chat like what emojis thing. Can maximum non-expansion work that a system or a cell can do is equal to decrease in Gibbs free energy. Decrease क्यों? Spontaneous reaction होना चाहिए. Delta G है Gibbs free energy of the reaction itself. कौन सा reaction? कौन सा reaction भाई? Redox reaction. Redox reaction. Remember, we started this whole thing with redox reaction, right? Oxidation, reduction. उन दोनों को ले आओ साथ में. हमेशा wherever there is oxidation, there is reduction. They happen in pair, right? They will always be together. Khair, that sounds like a rom-com line. Anyway, so as you were saying, yeah, the potential energy per unit charge is V. So I've just taken that Q to the other side. Okay? Now I'm saying it's negative QV. Q? Because delta G, when it's negative, spontaneous hota hai. Okay? So I am putting Q as N times F. F क्या होता है बताता हूं, आपको मालूम ही होगा अभी तक, maybe already studied this before, and E is electromotive force. Yes, Rahul, I will only use English. No school will explain this, Rek. Trust me on this. Rahul, if you don't understand anything now, it will be better if you tell me what is it that you want me to explain. Right? It's difficult for me to do only English, Hindi or only English, क्योंकि यार YouTube is a very diverse audience, right? So I'll switch between both. But अगर कोई technical चीज नहीं समझ में आती, anything technical you don't understand, ask me to repeat. I will repeat right then and there. I'm here for you that way for sure. ठीक है? चलो. ठीक है, चलो. All right, cool. So, no, please keep chatting. As long as it's you guys are talking on point, please chat. Be as active as you can. I like active people. इसलिए तो मैं हूँ YouTube में. अगर एक्टिव लोग नहीं चाहिए होते तो कहीं और कुछ और काम कर रहे होते, बैंक का काम कर रहे होते हम लोग, इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकिंग. अरे I'm here with you guys because I like active people. यार, come on, be active. It's beautiful. All right, sweet. So delta G is minus Q times V. Okay, and Q charge कितना आता है? Number of electrons. This is the same N that you get from N factor. Okay, same N है. Of the whole redox reaction वाला N factor था, same N. ठीक है? F is known as Faraday's constant. What is Faraday's constant? You have studied this in in physics also, right? The charge on 1 mole of electrons. The charge on 1 mole of electrons is 1 Faraday. Now you see why we are doing N into F. N into F इसलिए कर रहे हैं क्योंकि you have redox reaction में N moles of electrons and then into mole of charge, कितने charge होगा उसका इतना, and then into E. Why? Because this is an extensive property. Extensive property मतलब it depends on the number of moles. But this is intensive. क्यों? क्योंकि it is, देखो, E you get to be delta G by N. F has some constant, but by N. Do you remember this? That if you divide two extensive properties, you get an intensive property. Bhai, these things have been tested extensively. No pun intended. I just did some questions. Abhi kiya tha maine, this weekend. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. Okay. Thermo pe I did a question on intensive extensive properties. This was there. E naught is an intensive property. That question was there. Delta G is an extensive property. You need that to do anything in thermochemistry and in this as well. Okay, we all right? Are we doing good? Rahul, all good? Yeah? कोई डाउट है तो पूछ लो भाई लोग और बहनों, everybody. Yeah, all right, sweet, 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 good, good. So 1 Faraday charge present on 1 mole of electrons, 9645485, or just say 96555. It's okay, चलता है, ठीक है, coulomb per mole. Okay, so now let's get back to the point. BGMI, all right, please don't play that game. Yeah, life is short. Come on, use your time positively. नाम ऐसा रखोगे तो बोलना पड़ेगा यार. खेलो खेलो जो खेलना है खेलो, but please make sure you get enough physical exercise. That's equally important to stay mentally and physically fit. हाँ, ठीक है. So now I can talk about this spontaneity in terms of EMF. That is where I'm getting at. So what have we said so far? We have said कि देखो, some redox reactions happen. Now those redox reactions are spontaneous, not spontaneous. We can figure out by delta G. Now that delta G is related to E naught. So now if I talk about E naught, then I can talk about those redox reactions. So I'm trying to relate the reactions with E naught. That's the goal. ठीक है? Spontaneous reaction मतलब E cell is greater than 0. Not spontaneous reaction मतलब E cell is less than 0. As simple as that. चलो करते हैं सवाल. Let's see if you've been listening and awake so far. AIEEE का सवाल. करो करो करो. अरे stop spamming the chat, man. सवाल करो. The Gibbs energy for the decomposition of Al2O3 at 500, अरे ये क्या होगा, ठीक करते हैं, डिग्री सेल्सियस is as follows. कुछ रिएक्शन दिया हुआ है, ठीक है, some reaction being given. Delta G reaction is 966 kilojoule per mole. Very interesting number. The potential difference needed for electrolytic reduction of Al2O3 at 500 degrees Celsius is as what? Cairo, Karo solve, please solve this question. I will fix the units. I don't know zero कैसे हो गया. Some weird things happen, huh? When you upload things online and you download them again. So I'll fix the units quickly. Please try this question. Give me answers quickly. What do you guys think? Are you guys okay with the pace of this? Is this going too fast? Is this going too slow? Give me feedback, huh? Because this is the first time I'm taking sessions with you guys on this channel in a long time. So, batao, if this is to your liking, or would you like to speed it up, slow it down, whatever, let me know. Just fixing the units. Because I had this professor in college who was like, take care of units and the units will take care of you. So I'm taking care of the units. Yeah, you need to write them properly. There's a space between degree and Celsius. वो सब भी हम fix कर रहे हैं. Give me like 15 more seconds. While you do the question, I'm fixing this. You deserve the best, guys. These notes will be given to you, by the way. Okay, maybe I forgot to mention that part. Pretty important part. As soon as the session is over, on the Telegram channel that's in the description below, you will get the notes of this session. Okay? And so you don't have to write anything down. Abhi ke liye, please go ahead and solve the question. मेरी बात सुनो बस. Focus on that. Okay. शेख जी, हाय हेलो, बहुत लोग बोल रहे हैं, बट सवाल तो करो आप लोग. Do you want me to give you a hint as to क्या करना है? ठीक है, let me do that. I gave you quite a bit of time to fix this, to do this. चलो. Main चीज क्या है? Just delta G equal to NFE, right? That's the equation you've got to use. Shall I go ahead and continue? Shall I continue and solve this for you, or do you want more time to try it out yourself? Let me know. Yeah, I think I'll just solve it. ये वाला मैं solve करता हूँ, आगे वाला आप करना. Delta G is NFE. Okay. So substitute. Make sure you add 10 power 3 kilojoule. 3. Rec is saying 3. Okay. Rec is saying 3. Sweet. 3 you mean option number 3, which means you mean 2.5. Rec is on fire. Rec, thank you for that answer. Beautiful, beautiful. BHMI, you think 3 as well? Or are you saying something else? Batao, batao. What's on your mind? Anyway, make sure you put in this 10 power 3 kilojoule. This happens a lot. In thermodynamics also students misses out and yaar pura sawal kharab ho jata hai. Luckily this one has options. Nowadays you have a lot of questions don't have options. In JEE main, numerical entry, -1 marks. In JEE advanced, numerical entry, +4, 0. That doesn't mean you guess. Just be aware. You have to be aware of marking scheme. Hamesha read the instructions. Okay. Anyway, how do you get N? See, delta G is an intensive property. So it will change based on the reaction stoichiometry. The reaction stoichiometry is extremely important for delta G. Okay. What do I mean? Abhi ye likha hai. But what is actually happening? Underneath this, you're going from 3 plus to 0. And how many of these? 2 atoms. Oh, so 6 electrons? No, not 6 electrons. Because see on the left hand side, there's a 2 by 3. So it is 2 by 3 into 6, which is basically 4 electrons. Okay. So N value is 4. Once you figure that out, then to yaar ho hi gaya. That's done. No, what's there? E is 2.5. Excellent work, right? Cool. Any doubts so far? Please bataiye. See, that's my style. I'll do a lot of theory. I'll do one good question. Sorted. That's it. Quality over quantity, huh? How's it going? All okay? Let me know. I guess BJ is saying no for no doubts, any doubts, but cool. All right, sweet. Now, what if this delta G naught is not given to you? नहीं दिया तो क्या करोगे? Calculate कर लेंगे. क्यों नहीं करेंगे? E naught say we can get. From E naught, we can get delta G. Again, bar I'm saying this to you. Remember the basics. E cell is intensive, delta G is extensive. यानी कि to get delta G from E, you have to multiply E with number of electrons and Faraday and all that, sure. So, anode, cathode, do this, add them both together. I am just saying, what am I doing here? This is the Hess law idea. What is happening at the anode? This reaction. What is happening at the cathode? This reaction. If I add them both up, I get the whole reaction. What do I mean by Hess law? In thermochemistry, when you had 2 reactions, delta H formation, delta H combustion, you have to find delta G reaction. What do you would add, subtract. Wahi kar rahe hain. Same thing we are doing. The trick that can happen here is they can give you both reduction potentials. They can give you both oxidation potentials. They can give you one oxidation, one reduction potential. They can play around with whatever in JEE. But make sure you take care of the signs and you do this properly. The signs and the signs. Okay. Pun intended. Dono cheez. What is the science? Science is delta G is additive. Okay? Because it is extensive. So, you find out delta G for reaction 1, for reaction 2. Make sure you multiply with N, which is the same as N factor from redox. Let me write that again. NMM as redox. Okay? From redox ideas. And you're done. You add them both together. You get some value of delta G of both of these reactions. Then again, for the main reaction, you get back this value. So, what happens is everything gets cancelled out beautifully, and what you're left with is like a miracle. This is like a miracle. For a reaction, although this is intensive, I can say that, boss, E cell is simply going to be equal to this thing. What is this? Ye reduction hai na? Reduction hai matlab cathode hoga, right? What is this? This is what? This is also reduction. Achha. But this is reduction at B. But what was this? Oh, actually, what is this? What is happening here? Let's go back one step. Huh? Reduction kahan ho raha tha, oxidation kahan ho raha tha. Let me go back. So this is oxidation, this is reduction. So it looks like we have reversed the reaction of one of these guys. Okay? This is oxidation. My bad. Oxidation and hence anode. And reduction and hence cathode. So E cell is simply the summation of anode and cathode reactions. But cathode mein there is reduction happening. Here there is oxidation happening. Okay. Now, if you have only reduction potential values given to you, then you change it up, right? Because kya tha? What was it there before? It was E oxidation anode plus E reduction cathode. Now you can do all kind of permutation and combinations of this. Okay. I can say that E cell is E reduction cathode minus anode because ulta ho gaya. Or if I want only in terms of oxidation, I can say that E cell is also E oxidation of anode minus E oxidation of cathode. Is the same thing. Don't get tripped up on this. It is the same thing. Cool. Lokesh, do you see this? This is how you got to calculate. If it's not given, matlab ki you have n values. You don't have delta G, right? So E naught cell we are calculating by using half cell. That's what we mean by given matlab aise. All right. This is extremely important. Be comfortable with changing these signs. Okay. All right. Sweet. So this difference in electrode potential between these two things of the half cell reactions is totally known as EMF of the cell or the cell potential. Remember, this is when no current is flowing through. As soon as current starts flowing through, reactions start happening and EMF girta jata hai. It keeps falling until the death of the cell. Death of the cell is at equilibrium. What am I talking about? अगले सेशंस में we'll talk about in detail. आज के सेशन में we'll keep it a little light. पहला सेशन है, we'll keep it a little light. Okay. Here's a question for you. Simple one. Please try it out in the chat. This one is straightforward. Please try it out. Consider the E naught values. This is reduction. This is also reduction. ठीक है? Be careful. दोनों reduction है. Under standard conditions, the potential for the reaction, this is the reaction given to you. Use the same ideas of thermochemistry, right? But be careful. In this case, there are kitne electrons hai bhai? It doesn't matter, right? You can try doing it the NFVE way or directly do that E cell is equal to E naught. Array, naught should be upar. Reduction cathode minus E naught reduction anode. You can do that because reduction potential will be given. Please give me values in the chat, please. Oh, this is behind me, huh? You can read this, right? All right. What do you guys think? This one's doable? Straightforward question. Try it out. Please try it out. Yeah. Pai Patel. Loving this. Itni jaldi. हाँ ये तो direct भी था. But good job. Pai Patel. Beautiful name. 0.91. Yeah. Easy one. How do you get 0.91? Cathode has to be something that is getting reduced. This guy is being reduced. So this must be cathode. So we take this guy as it is. So we take 0.77 minus of minus 0.14, which gives me 0.91. Excellent work. Ye hai cathode. This must be the anode. Always check. Yeah. Both of them have to happen together. Yeah. Simple stuff, right? Direct. Excellent work. Loving this. Sweet. Good job. Guys. All right. So what are the properties of electrode potential, right? Broad idea is that it depends on this, it depends on this, it depends on this, and it depends on pressure and temperature. It depends on some of these, and it doesn't depend on some of them. Okay. So broadly, this part is what we'll do in session 3. This is Nernst equation, right? That's next Tuesday. This Thursday, coming the next couple of days, we will do the whole electrochemical series and all of that. Care anyway. Repeating this, electrode potential or cell potential intensive property does not depend on amount of solution, does not depend on thickness of metal and all of that, doesn't care on all of those things, okay? It also doesn't depend on all of this. Look, whether I take 1 mole or if I take 10 moles, E is going to be the same. G will change. It has to change. But remember, E is proportional to delta G by N. N is what? N factor and F, right? Hence, it is intensive. This is extensive. Cool? Okay. Reversing. If you reverse a reaction, just like in thermochemistry, when you reverse a reaction, delta H ka sign negative ho jata tha. Whatever it was earlier, it was negative of that. Here also, if you reverse a reaction, E naught ka sign gets reversed. So, do you get where we're going with this? If a reaction is non-spontaneous, to make it spontaneous, you have to reverse it. Matlab, you have to provide a battery wala cheez. Cool, right? That's where the battery idea comes from. So, if E naught cell is say negative 1.5, then I have to provide a potential difference of at least 1.5 or more to make that reaction happen. Yahi cheez NCERT mein bhi diya in detail. Khair, anyway, here you go. If I write this down this way, this is oxidation. If I reverse it, it becomes reduction. And the relationship between both of them is one is negative of the other. That's what I was saying. Chalo, ek aur sawal. Let's do this. E naught for F2 plus 2E, giving you 2F minus is 2.8. E naught for this, half of that क्या होगा? Easy one, just to make sure if the people watching this are awake. Try it out, please. Give me an answer to this one. What do you guys think? What do you guys think on this one? Yeah? A, B, C, or D? This is one of those that you should probably answer in your sleep. And a question like this have come in JEE. This is not a JEE main question, obviously. But yeah, yes, Pi G, absolutely. It's not changed. Pi G, yeah. Pi Patel is right. Once again, Pi Patel strikes. 2.8 volts it is. क्यों? क्योंकि भाई, it is an intensive property. It doesn't matter. Number of things does not matter here. Sweet. Okay, great. Good job. Now, any redox reaction occurs spontaneously if this one could have more than one correct. Okay, just a heads up. Possible. Please try this one. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about this? हाँ, ये भी आसान है. Just summarizing everything we've done so far. Yeah? Could be more than one correct. Rex says A and D. Okay. Anybody else? Any lurkers want to also? I know there are more people on the chat. Any lurkers also want to chime in? Pi also says this. BGMI. Okay. एक और सही है BGMI. Delta G is negative and E is not as positive, ना? Why? Because delta G naught is equal to minus NF E naught. तो अगर ये होगा नेगेटिव तो ये होगा पॉजिटिव. दैट्स ऑल. ठीक. चलो एक सवाल करते हैं. जागो ग्राहक. This one summarizes everything we've done so far. This is one of those questions, right? Summarize everything. Using this whole delta G naught for these reactions, 3 reactions, 3 reaction है. Reaction 1, reaction 2, reaction 3. ठीक है. Calculate EMF for this cell reaction. Let's call this reaction 4. Try करिए. ज़्यादा बड़ा लग रहा है क्या? Is this too huge? Let me just make this a little smaller so that you have enough time. You read it slowly आराम से. देखो, डेल्टा जी नॉट वैल्यू तीनों की मैंने लिख दी यहाँ पे. ओके, 3 रिएक्शन लिखे हैं. इसका ईएमएफ निकालना है. व्हाट आर यू गोइंग टू डू? डू यू नीड अ हिंट? आई विल गिव यू अ हिंट. प्लीज ट्राई. स्टार्ट करिए सवाल को. आई विल गिव यू 1 whole minute टू सॉल्व दिस क्वेश्चन. एक पूरा मिनट. व्हाट आर यू गोइंग टू डू? यूज द फैक्ट दैट डेल्टा जी इज एक्सटेंसिव just like delta H. ठीक है, use that idea and then use delta G equal to NFE minus NFE. उसके लिए पहले आपको N निकालना पड़ेगा. So these 2 ideas, number 1, number 2. Do these 2 things. Try it out. Now BGMI, it's okay. Track करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Don't worry. Learning experience थोड़ा सही होगा, थोड़ा we'll learn. It's absolutely cool. Please try this one out. Do I already hear that? Yeah, my hand does weird things. Ugh. Try करिए इसको please. Any doubts so far? Any doubts? Do you want more of a hint on this one? Or are you guys trying? Okay, please try Pi G. Try it. Pi, tell me where you're stuck. I'll help you. Let me do the first step for you. First step is, where people usually make mistakes. पहला step. वो plus minus में ना, people mess up यार. Okay, let me give you a starting point. देखो, this is on LHS and into 2. Correct? यहाँ पे कहा गया melt. This is on RHS. So I have to do into -2 over here. That's how I do it. LHS RHS लिखो. अगर LHS में है और एक्चुअल रिएक्शन में RHS में है तो नेगेटिव डालना पड़ेगा, है ना? और नंबर 1 2 तो क्लियर है, राइट? परफेक्ट. पाई, यस, एब्सोल्युटली. पाई हैज हिट द बुल्स आई. गॉड, आगे वाला पार्ट करो. यू आर राइट. सो फॉर एवरीबडी एल्स, स्टेप 1, ये क्या है? LHS into 3 कार्बन. हियर कहां पे कार्बन है? RHS में. सो आई विल डू into -3, right? And what else is there? I have Al liquid. Okay, this is RHS and into 4. But there's already 2 here. So I will, this is LHS. So I will do into -2 यहाँ पे. ठीक है? -2 क्या? नहीं, 1 मिनट सोचने दीजिए. इधर -3 नहीं होगा, it will be just 3 here. Right? Because C is on the left hand side. RHS क्यों लिखा मैंने भाई? That's amazing dyslexia. How am I mistaking that? LHS है, यहाँ पे भी LHS है. ठीक है, तो into just 3. So 3 -2 -2. That's the first step, figuring out Gibbs free energy, which pi has correctly calculated to be 1321. Now that delta G of the reaction, right, is going to be, hey, is it minus or is it plus 1321? My good friend, अरे pi भाई, pi, it's not negative. Calculator ले आओ अगर चाहो तो. Get a calculator if you want for this one. Anyway, I think in JEE you have that computer पे छोटा सा number वाले calculator, use करो. So you're doing -1269 into -2. ठीक है, into -2. Okay, so let's do that. माइनस है कि प्लस है, देखते हैं. -395 into 3. ओके, -1185 प्लस, अरे भाई मुझे तो प्लस आ रहा है, देखो 1269 into 2. यार ये तो प्लस आ गया, 1353 -32. हाँ यार मेरा प्लस 132 बनाया. देखो देखो ठीक से देखो पाई, हाँ रेक प्लस है ना, देखो यही मैं बोल रहा था. दिस एग्जैक्टली व्हाट आई वाज सेइंग. बी केयरफुल इन दिस पार्ट. दिस क्वेश्चन इज फ्रॉम JEE. हाउ आई चेंज दिस वाज, आई डिडंट गिव यू ऑप्शंस. JEE मेन क्वेश्चन में ऑप्शन है, दैट्स ओनली डिफरेंस, बट दिस इज फ्रॉम JEE. ठीक है, या IIEEE व्हाटएवर, वन ऑफ दोस थिंग्स, नॉट एडवांस्ड. खैर, देन यू डू दिस. माइनस नहीं है, प्लस है. 1321 into 10 power -3. अरे सॉरी, माइनस तो सही, या डेल्टा जी इज 1321 बट दैट्स माइनस NFE, तो इसलिए नेगेटिव साइन यहां आ जाता है. ठीक है, सो E इज गोइंग टू बी नेगेटिव, मतलब नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस रिएक्शन. दैट्स अ की टेक अवे हियर. ठीक है, ये हो गया. नाउ इफ यू हैव डन दिस, व्हाट इज N गाइस? व्हाट इज N ओवर हियर? दैट्स योर नेक्स्ट बैटल टू फिगर आउट. N क्या होगा? व्हाट इज N? पाई. Pi is saying 1.14 volts. Is it plus or minus pi? Minus होगा ना? N is 12. Beautiful, beautiful. How do you get N is 12? Plus 3 oxidation state से जा रहा है 0, ये जा रहा है 0 से 4. So either multiply this into 3 or the other way around is a little tricky, but you get the same thing. ना redox reaction में ही तो beautiful चीज है. Whatever number of electrons are there in reduction, same number of electrons होंगे in oxidation, right? यहाँ पे क्या है oxidation वाला देख लेते हैं. N is 12. Quick way to do it. Yes. N is you're absolutely right. So N is 12, then yeah, absolutely right. But negative 1.14 आएगा ना? That's the only thing, not positive. Huh? It will be negative 1.14. Good job, good job, good job. अरे यार, ये तो मैंने आपको सीधे आंसर ही दे दिया. खैर, I think that's a homework question, sadly. I hope you didn't see it. Which of the following are correct about galvanic cell? You got 4 options. Please try them out. 4 options. Galvanic cell के बारे में which of these are true? Try it out. This is again theory. This is not JEE main or anything. Just making sure कि भाई तुमको theory आती है कि नहीं आती है. Give me more than one correct, right? This one is definitely correct. Yeah, voltaic cell, galvanic cell same है. Electrolyte cell, no. Galvanic cell produces electricity as a result of spontaneous reaction, absolutely, because it's chemical to electrical energy. Energy less than 0, absolutely. So ये 3 सही है ना? AD only, ना C भी सही है. Good job, Rick. Close, very close, but C भी सही होगी. Right? Because galvanic cell is chemical energy to electrical energy. देखो यार, अगर ये सही है, then this has to be correct, right? If it's a spontaneous reaction, then chemical reaction causing electricity to flow. ठीक है? That's why this is correct as well. ठीक है? Be careful. Good job though. How about this one? This is testing the basis of redox reactions. Somebody wanted us to do redox reactions also, no? This is for them. I guess if you're not watching it live, you can check it out later. एक second, I'll just fix the इसका क्या बोलते हैं उसको? Alignment. Yeah, man, this PowerPoint thing is weird. It behaves a little strange at times. ये 2 plus भाग जाएगा. There you go. It should be okay now. You able to see this properly? Let me know what do you think the answer to this one is going to be. This is, as a hint as I've given you, is a revision of redox reactions. How is it a revision of redox reactions? देखो, what is an oxidizing agent? Something that gets reduced, right? What's a reducing agent? Something that gets oxidized. So the best reducing agent would really like to get oxidized. You know, would really like to get oxidized. If it likes being oxidized, matlab the reaction of A to A plus should be most positive. है ना? So what is A to A plus? matlab Fe to Fe3 plus would be 0.04 volts. What about Mg to Mg2 plus? Oh boy, that one's 2.37, isn't it? तो मतलब मैग्नीशियम हुआ आपका स्ट्रॉन्ग. यस, पाई इज ऑन फायर ब्रो. पाई प्रॉपर्ली पढ़ के आए हैं. ब्यूटीफुल, एक्सीलेंट वर्क. Which of the following is or are incorrect? You could have more than one correct. I'm sorry, more than one incorrect here. Try करो. With this session, you have done this inside out. This part of this thing. So if you're lucky, अगर यहाँ सवाल आए, you will get it for sure. ऐसे ही आपको 4-5 सेशन करने पड़ेंगे. ये एक सेशन वाला ना is not going to help you. It is good if you know everything and you just want a revision, but उसके लिए बुक ही पढ़ लो ना. एक सेशन क्या करोगे तुम? मैं बैठ के तुमको कुछ फॉर्मूला बताऊं, उसका क्या फायदा है? Let me teach you, man. This is where the fun is at. Yeah? Care. If you want to just questions, we can do that. Give me feedback. If you guys want to just questions, what I have found, at least on the NEET channel, when I do just questions, sometimes students feel, यार, थोड़ी theory बता देते. अगर मैं थोड़ी theory या question बता रहा हूँ, might as well teach ना, है ना? I'm giving you good question also. See, JEE के सवाल दे रहा हूँ बीच-बीच में. खैर, is enough time. Don't worry. Time का कोई टेंशन नहीं है. Question with concept. Exactly. That's what we're doing right now. भाई, वही तो कर रहे हैं हम लोग. हम लोग एक कॉन्सेप्ट को इनसाइड आउट पढ़ रहे हैं. We're just, बाल की खाल निकाल के we're finishing it off. So you never have to look at it ever again before the JEE exam. Done and dusted. खैर, अगर रिडक्शन पोटेंशियल ज्यादा है तो ज्यादा होगी टेंसिटी टू बी ऑक्सीडाइज. नहीं ना, रिडक्शन पोटेंशियल ज्यादा है तो ज्यादा होगी टेंसिटी टू बी रिड्यूस्ड, नॉट ऑक्सीडाइज्ड. ओके, यस, दिस इज करेक्ट. इलेक्ट्रोड पोटेंशियल डिपेंड्स ऑन नेचर ऑफ मेटल. करेक्ट. गोल्ड और जिंक का अलग अलग है नेचर की वजह से. नहीं, दिस इज इंटेंसिव. यस, नॉट एक्सटेंसिव. है ना? गैल्वेनिक इलेक्ट्रोलाइटिक सेल्स आर रिवर्स रीजन. ये तो सही है. तो आंसर्स क्या हुआ है? ए, सी या बी और डी? Make sure you read the question carefully. Which of the following are incorrect? Which means A and C are incorrect. ठीक है? Cool. Any doubts, guys? We all right? सब ठीक है? Yeah? If you get any doubts, ask me. I had a little bit more that I thought I'd do with you guys, but since it's already 1 घंटा हो गया है, I'll wrap it up here. Yeah? I went a bit too flamboyant with the theory in the starting, but it's okay. We'll catch up in the next session. बाकी चीजें तो चिली है, some concentration cell and बस छोटी-छोटी चीजें. But the main concepts that have been tested in JEE, and definitely अगर इस आइडिया से आएंगे, it will be on all of these that I've told you so far. Okay, इस part of the chapter से यही चीजें आएंगी, इससे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं आएगा. Whether it's JEE main or it's JEE advanced. Yeah, bro, sure. निमाई पांडा जी, जरूर करते हैं. Here are a couple of homework questions. Wow, on this bright orange screen. Please check them out. These homework questions, you could give me answers on the comments, yeah, or you could ping me, ping us on Telegram, whatever works, I teach Chem on Telegram. And if you want the notes of this session, they will be in the description, which will be on Telegram. We uploaded on Telegram. There's a Telegram channel, right, called JEE Aakash, Aakash JEE, whatever it's called. Just check the link in the description. This is the first one. This is the second question. Please check it out and let me know what your answers are. Nimai ji, आपको जरूर बताता हूँ. I'm getting to that. Books in chemistry for JEE main and advanced. Physical chemistry, let's do this guy. All the way to advanced. If you want to focus top at main, then maybe do Ebbing. The only thing this does not have is the second part of electrochemistry. Okay. इसके अलावा it has everything else. It doesn't have that conductivity वाला part. For inorganic, you know the answer यार. एक ही book है. There is JD Lee. One stop shop. It doesn't have questions. मतलब उसके questions solve करना is not this thing, but the theory is insanely good. Probably the best book. And this is the JD Lee, which is 5th edition, 5th E. I'll send you the pic on Telegram if you guys want. Check it out. Zoomdal का whatever edition you get your hands on, यार. I understand that आजकल physical book नहीं मिल रही है. It's been out of stock on Amazon for a long time. I got it a few years back. Anyway, I'm done with today's session. Thank you so much for checking this out. And any feedback is welcome. Do you guys want to do more sessions like this or something else? Let me know in the comments. What I would prefer to do, because I think it will benefit you the most, is to do hardcore sessions like this where we look at concepts inside out and we do few questions, and with those questions we cement those concepts that you'll never forget them in your life. For JEE main, advance, any test you take, even for Olympiads, this helps. Okay? All right. Hey Ashi, how you doing? Only NCRT is enough? Kar lo NCRT yaar. Because again, my goal is to take you all the way to advanced. If you want to stop at main, please आराम से करो. I am here to help you there also. ठीक है? My only thing for advanced is कि मैं थोड़ा सा theory और बता दूंगा आपको, थोड़ा सा first concepts और बता दूंगा, first principles. ठीक है? Ashi, NCRT is enough if you do it inside out. Nimai ji, I am a physical chemistry and organic chemistry guy. Organic teacher, there will be another person who will help you out. But sure, I can help you with the book. Organic की book is Solomon's. And again, guys, all of these go all the way to advanced. ठीक है? This is not just a JEE main book. There's, अगर JEE main आपका full focus है, NCRT is more than enough. But make sure you do exemplar and this thing PYQs. Okay? If your focus is only main, then NCRT plus exemplar and PYQs. Because see, the theory is the same for main and advanced. The questions are very different. ठीक है? So अगर JEE main की questions हो पा रहे हैं with this, then well and good. अगर नहीं हो पा रहे, then maybe take a little bit of extra help. Come to our sessions, check them out, whatever works. ठीक है? चलो, I'll meet you again on Thursday with electrochemistry. And if you have some other plans, you want me to do something else, let me know in the comments. ठीक है? I hope you had fun. Please share this video with your friends if you liked it. And Telegram पे इसके notes होंगे. Whatever I've written over here, I'll share them on Telegram right after this. Bye. Good night. Good night, everybody. Pranam. It was great teaching you all.